Good evening, this is Friday Night Live, the TNT Sports and talkSPORT Hour. Every Friday we're going to be joined by TNT Sports pundits, presenters and commentators from across the sporting world: football, rugby, cricket, MotoGP, tennis, UFC and much, much more. Still to come, we are going to be looking ahead to Tottenham against Manchester United, that one tomorrow lunchtime. But first, we're delighted to be joined in the studio by former British and Irish Lions fly-half turned TNT Sports pundit, Dan Biggar. Dan, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. This is like, every time I said, we were just chatting off air there with Darren, and I said, like, every time I come back to this place, it's like literally just living my childhood dream out. So thank you very much for having me.
Do you know what's funny as well? He was out there, he was smiling because of finally Man United are winning. Honestly, he was out there, he was smiling, he was happy.
I did say in the last 10 years.
He didn't want to come in, did he? Now it's like, oh, I'll come in.
In the last 10 years, I haven't had many good weeks as a Man United fan. So the last couple of weeks have been relatively positive. So I feel like we've earned it as United fans.
You're right, you're 20 years before that, so you're okay. You've still got a lot. You've been retired for about a year now, Dan.
Yeah.
What's it like? Boredom set in yet? Are you enjoying what you're doing in terms of pundit stuff?
Not yet. I'm at the stage, as everyone keeps asking me, like, how are you finding it and are you happy and things. And at the minute,
you look like you can still get on the field.
Yeah, no, the answer, I'm doing a fair bit of run. I'm doing like 5Ks a week. So I've got my time under, so I've gone like sub 20. So that was
that's the one. That's the thing.
So that was the aim. But then, you know, once you've done the sub 20, you're like, oh, where'd you go now? It's where'd you go now? And like my agent, who was just outside, was like, oh, you have to go like sub 40 for the 10K or something. But I don't know. So, no, I feel good.
You're a golfer?
I am. I'm playing a bit of golf, so I'm trying to get. I'm playing off about 15, but I need to get myself down to single figures now. I'm a retired sportsman. Yeah. But I have to say, people have said, like, are you missing it? And like that difficult period when you finish. I have to say, I don't think I've been as happy for a long time. So, you know, obviously I'm working with TNT, which is great. So it's keeping me involved in terms of match day and involved in the game. But I do feel like, I'm in a really good place.
Is that because, and you said it there, I think a lot of sportsmen, certainly when they've been to the level that you have in your respective sport, that when that's no longer there, it's trying to fill that void. And as you said there, because you're still heavily involved with obviously rugby, do you think that's almost helped soften the blow?
Yeah, because what I miss, and I mean this in the nicest way, I don't miss playing.
Really?
I miss the match day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like the preparation. Yeah, of course.
So yeah. I miss being at the stadium. I miss the atmosphere. I miss being there
amongst the boys, the banter.
Yeah, but I don't miss. I really don't miss playing currently. So I think for me, being able to sort of go to a game, whether it be in the Prem or Quilter Nation Series this November, it's like I get to still sample the bit which I love the most without getting whacked about and having to do all the hard work sort of thing. I said since I've been working for TNT, I haven't made a mistake. Since I've been this side of the camera, I haven't made any errors. I've been perfect in everything I've done.
We've got an hour to work on that.
Yeah, although we'll find plenty of faults.
You know, I've always wondered this. If we move on, I've always wondered this with like me being an ex-footballer. Like, so when I retired, I still end up going and playing little five-a-sides and stuff like that.
No.
As a rugby player.
No.
Is there a little five-a-side rugby type thing?
I'm still playing
rugby, innit?
I'm still looking to play five-a-side football, but definitely not sort of five-a-side rugby. No. It's funny because you get like basically when we were in training, it used to be like a bit of football to warm up, or like the non-23, the boys who weren't playing on the weekend would always sort of warm up with football, and it used to be like the biggest thing in the world. I'm actually you say that, I'm actually playing on Monday night. They're like Toulon are doing like a match of legends, but like Zidane's playing.
Oh my goodness!
So like,
let's pick up those names.
Yeah. Well, I feel if I can't drop Zidane in, I'm playing against him. I said I'm on the wrong show. Yeah. So like that would be like incredible. Absolutely amazing. So we'll see what my football skills are like on Monday night.
We were talking just before you came in. We had Hugo Monye a few times here in the studio, and I think Bentley asked him, because I was a bit like, which one's bigger? Obviously, he did 2 tours with the Lions. Which one's bigger, the Lions tour or the World Cup with Wales? Like, what is the pinnacle here? Is it, as a kid, which do you dream of? Is it a Lions call up, or is it going to the World Cup with Wales?
I think it's a really good question, because I think probably what you dream of is probably Lions as a rugby player.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you get selected for the Lions, it's like you're the best of the best from not just your club, not just your country, but from 4 countries. So to make that's quite special with all the history and the heritage. And, you see like the documentaries and the videos and everything. It is incredibly special. I think it's when you get a bit older and when you like for me, I played in Wales, England and France. And it's funny, in France, it's almost like the Lions isn't.
Is it not?
It's almost not talked of. It's almost like not a particularly big thing.
Obviously, yeah.
It's kind of like because it doesn't involve them. So from that stage, then you think, right, the World Cup, because it involves France, Australia, so it involves everyone at the same time, all the big hitters. That probably feels bigger when you're in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But I think probably if you're asking me, what did I really, really want to be when I grew up, it would probably be a rugby player for the Lions, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We can't have you here, obviously, without talking rugby. And it's, of course, the second week of the Autumn Internationals with all the home nations exclusively live across TNT Sports. The fixtures this weekend, Ireland take on Japan. That's TNT Sports 3 gets underway lunchtime. Scotland versus New Zealand, 3:10 p.m. Weird times these, aren't they? 3:10 p.m. TNT Sports 3. And England will take on Fiji, 5:40 TNT Sports 1. Wales take on Argentina. That's a tough one. That's a brutal encounter, that one.
Yeah.
3:10 p.m. TNT Sports 1. England started off well last week, beat Australia. What do you make of this new England side under Steve Borthwick?
Very impressed. I think this Quilter Nation series, they look, the age dynamic in the group, the demographic in the group, they look young, they look hungry, but they've got key players with experience in terms of, you look at someone like a George Ford, who just looks to be getting better. I think he's on 101, 102 caps now.
Crazy,
just seems to be just getting better and better. And with the weapons he's got around him, I think he can probably play another 2 or 3 years at that level. What I like about this England team is that they can play in different ways. They're a big, strong, mobile sort of unit. But where I thought they played really well on the weekend against Australia was that they knew. It's always, again, it's interesting to see your guys' opinion on this. It's almost like what they produced on Saturday at the Allianz Stadium was what they must have trained Monday to Friday, which is probably the most pleasing thing from a coaching point of view. I think the coaches will be almost more pleased with the weekend because they implemented, trained and carried out that game plan to perfection in terms of, and a lot of the thing in rugby at the minute is, so much kicking and kicking the ball away, etc. But if there's a plan to kick, and the plan is to try and get the ball back or force turnovers and score points from it, which England did. They scored 17 points directly from kicks on the weekend. It's almost like people accept that and get behind it. And if it works, you can buy into it. So I think from my point of view, the age demographic, the different ways in which they can play England, they look really strong. And probably, you look at 2 years' time in terms of going into the World Cup, you probably think France, South Africa, New Zealand are going to be sort of, England are probably going to be in that top category as well.
Well, so you're a fly half, and I think a lot's been spoke about, to be fair. It's a big talking point with the England squad right now in terms of Finn Smith replacing George Ford tomorrow. Who do you think is England's best option?
Yeah, it's a good question, Darren, because I think, again, where England are at strong, where they're so strong at the minute is they've got so much depth at the minute. You look at say that fly half position in England, which is kind of like the glamour position in a way, and it's the most talked about and things. So you look at who could play there. George Ford was brilliant on the weekend. Finn Smith, who is probably in terms of like the form and really probably is the future in terms of his age profile, how he plays, how long he's going to be there for. Marcus Smith, who's been a little bit in and out, but can be brilliant at 10, brilliant at 15, and then you're forgetting about maybe a certain Owen Farrell who's come back to the Prem and is sort of looking really assured and, maybe gives this Quilter Nations series a bit of a break, but comes back for the Six Nations. So you look at the depth that they've got there and the different ways that they could play with those 4 players, and I think they're spoilt for choice. I suppose Steve Borthwick's got a bit of a decision to make. Does he say to George Ford, you're our guy for big games when we want to play?
Yeah.
Or does he say to Finn Smith, who I think it's between George Ford and Finn Smith in that sense, you're the future, here's the keys, go and run this team? Because I think when you play number 10, it's a little bit like when you play centre midfield in football. Yeah. It's kind of like you have to boss the game.
Yeah.
You have to control the tempo of the game if you want to pick it up, if you want to slow it down, if you want to have control on it. And I think when you're the guy who's calling the shots in those positions, in a key position like 10, You need time in the saddle, and you need almost people to know that it's your team, not you just coming in for 60 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You're very positive on the England squad in terms of, as you say, just the makeup.
Hard to be positive for a Welshman on an England squad there as well.
Where are you on this current Welsh squad, who we know struggled? Obviously, got back to winning ways against Japan, but it has been difficult. And against the Pumas, it's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be brutal, especially in that pack area. Where are you on this current Welsh squad?
So, the last 2 years for Welsh rugby couldn't really have gone much worse. If we're so the base level for Wales going into this autumn is or the bar is pretty low. But I do feel like new coach, new environment, new scheduling of everything. It feels this is the first time in a couple of years there's been some real positivity going into camp. Now it's Steve Tandy, the new coach, knows that before a game or before a ball is kicked or before kick-off, it's almost an easy job, isn't it, in terms of implementing change. They've changed the training schedule, so before it would be Monday, Tuesday. Now it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with a day off afterwards. They've changed the home dressing rooms in the Principality Stadium because they've changed the hotel where they stay outside Cardiff is all for relaxation and sort of relaxing area, and then when they go up to the Centre of Excellence, that's when it's sort of, we open the door and that's work mode. So there's been lots of positive changes, which hopefully has built a bit of a vibe around Wales, which we haven't had for the last couple of years. Now, the proof will obviously be in the pudding on Sunday or by the end of November. But I think it's a nice feeling to have some positivity, some more players in. They've picked on form in terms of the players who are playing well for their clubs, look like they're sort of fitting in and gelling quite nicely, and the feedback has been ultra positive from the boys in camp. So look, before a game is kicked, everything seems to be ticking the right boxes, but the challenge they face on Sunday is huge in terms of Argentina, ranked 6th in the world. On the face of it, are a much better team than Wales currently. So it's all about, can they negate the fast start that Argentina will look to have? Can they get the crowd behind them early doors? Can they stay in the game for as long as possible? And if they do all those things, they've then got someone like Rees-Zammit to come off the bench and give the crowd and the team a bit of a boost to hopefully get them home. But they have to start well, and that's the biggest thing that Wales haven't done over the last 12
What have you made of him coming back and going straight in?
I think given where Wales have been, it's probably, if Wales had won the last 10, 12 games, it may well be different. He may have had to bide his time a little bit and prove his worth a little bit more. But when you've got someone with the star power, the X factor, the speed, the ability of Rees-Zammit, it's very difficult for a Welsh nation to keep him out at the minute. I think he's one of the very few star factor players, and I think he'll suit how the new Wales will want to play, because I think where Wales will want to play is a lot more sort of transitions, which mean you'll want to sort of break the game up and not be like scrum, more just like a standard typical game of rugby. So the more opportunities you can give him in space against sort of slower, bigger forwards as the game goes on, I think it's a good selection from Steve Tandy to put him on the bench and bring him on when Argentina tire a little bit. But it's a huge test. Argentina are a brilliant team. They've had a really good rugby championship. And they'll be a real tough ask on Sunday in Cardiff.
Well done, Dan. 18 minutes gone, no mistakes. Keep going.
How long to go?
All right, rugby is back, and TNT Sports is the home of Premiership Women's Rugby, plus all the action from the Quilter Nations series as well. Well, this autumn, the home nations take on the likes of the All Blacks, Australia, and world champions South Africa. Good evening, this is Friday Night Live, the TNT Sports and talkSPORT Hour with Just Eat. Get delicious meals and everyday essentials from the delivery experts. It's me, Adobe, Premier League 100 club member Darren Ben, and former British and Irish Lions star turned TNT Sports pundit Dan Biggar. Still to come, we're going to be looking at Tottenham against Manchester United, that one tomorrow lunchtime. But just quickly, Alexander Isak has returned to Liverpool training today for the first time in 3 weeks. Tottenham are reportedly considering a move for Al Ahly striker Ivan Toney in January. And Man City manager Pep Guardiola has been speaking to the media ahead of their game against Liverpool this weekend. And also mark Pep's 1,000th game as a coach.
Crazy.
And that's incredible numbers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was asked whether milestones like that keep him going.
Well, the numbers are insane. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm arrogant, presumptuous, but they're insane. If you see, because I'm not living thinking how many, but when you have the milestone and you read what you have done, the victories, the average, not just in Premier League, in Champions League, and now on, we have done incredible things in Barcelona, Bayern Munich here, incredible. So, difficult to reach it. And if I start again, I would not reach it. So, it's too much games, a few defeats, comparing 1,000 games, and hopefully tomorrow or on Sunday, we can continue.
He's never been sacked, has he?
No. You know, that wobble last season.
No chance.
No chance, but I was thinking, how long can it keep going before someone says something?
No.
Was it like 9 defeats in 11 or something?
No, yeah, the guy's won 6 Prem.
Yeah, he's got so much credit in the bank.
Champions League.
How many of those 1,000 games do you think he's won?
That's what I was going to ask. Can we find out?
990.
912.
You think he's only lost, 88 games out of 1,000?
Mate, okay.
It must be like, what? Let's have a guess there. Go on then.
No, I'm going to go 872 he's won.
I'm going to go 850.
Yeah, I was going to go 850. I'm going to go 873.
873.
Well, you went 872, yeah?
872.
I'll go 873. I think it's just, yeah.
This down just in case, because he'll lie and say something else. 873, 872, 850. We'll find out in a minute. Incredible manager though, isn't he? Honestly, what he's done, like how he's reinvented himself as well. Like even this Man City stint, when everyone was like, after 5 years he's going to vanish and run away, and all of a sudden he wins a treble.
Yeah, he's been incredible. Like, not only at Barca and Bayern, but coming to City as well, and not having it his own way when he first got it. Didn't win the league in his first year, but the way he's kind of changed the football philosophy in this country, how the way he's made players better, changed the way the game's played in terms of the goalkeeping position. Just phenomenal coach. But I just think the biggest compliment is how hungry he is. Is that he's won everything there is to win, and yet every season he comes back and he's like, I need to win again, I need to win again. That's why he's one of the best ever.
Dan, there'll always be comparisons. Like I never ever thought anyone, and I still don't think he's up there with Fergie, because I do think Fergie's clear by himself. But I didn't think that, he said, I like that. But there's never been anyone that you thought, okay, could actually really, you could have a serious debate about whether or not he's better than Fergie. Are we in that discussion? Are we in that area with Pep? It's difficult for you as a United fan.
Yeah, it's difficult to admit there's basically the two teams who are killing it at the minute are 3, Arsenal, Liverpool and City, which is painful to look, I think what he's achieved, I think the big thing was, when he went from Barcelona to Munich and he admittedly won the Bundesliga, but Bayern Munich, I think, was it 10 on the spin? I think they won it. So you sort of think that was a given. Failed to get the job done in the Champions League. You're sort of thinking, can he win it? Can he win without Messi? In a sense, that was the big talking point. And then he's come to the Premier League, and I mean, this City team have just been
frightening.
I mean, you look at admittedly last year there was a drop off, wasn't there, from them? But you just look at how good they are, how they've sort of dominated the Premier League for years, and that's my childhood was basically United doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's sort of come in. I don't think anybody will rival the longevity of what Sir Alex Ferguson did at a club. Not the way the game is now, but I think you look at the condensed success that he's had and how teams have played. I mean, it's frightening. So you'd have to say from what he's achieved, he would. If he stayed at City for probably another 10, 15 years,
then he's there.
Then he's probably going to be in that bracket.
Just mad because you said, and you're right, last season, the drop-off last year, they drop off to 3rd. Most teams, when they drop off like 8th, 9th in the league. Do you know what I mean? Like, they dropped off to 3rd. And that was only 3 points behind Arsenal. That's the level
that drop-off.
That's their drop-off.
That's what they said about Haaland, didn't he? He got 34 goals or something.
And he dropped off.
Dropped off Haaland. 19th in the Ballon d'Or race, dropped off. 34 goals.
Listen, I think Fergie, yeah, of course, is number one, but Pep's up there in the discussion.
Yeah.
Wenger's up there. But I think the genuine debate will be between Pep and Fergie for
That'll be it, innit?
Yeah.
In years to come. All right, still to come, we're going to have the latest edition of DB versus TNT. But first, it's time for No Googling. All right, we want to know which player... Good question. Tough question. Which player holds the record for the most consecutive Premier League appearances?
I know it. I know.
All right, give me the initial, the first.
I played with him.
Oh, forget it then. Right, it's up to you then, Dan. Dan, this is all on you, Dan. Which player holds the record for the most consecutive Premier League appearances? Answer when we come back.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Premier League 100 club member Darren Ben and former British and Irish Lions star turned TNT Sports pundit Dan Biggar. We asked you before the break, no Googling, question was which player holds the record for the most consecutive Premier League appearances, and the answer, Dan, is...
Well, I have to confess.
No, don't do that.
No. My first guess was Petr Cech, but
good guess.
would have been... We obviously went goalkeeper, but I think... The answer, Darren, is Brad Friedel?
Brad Friedel.
It is Brad Friedel. You played with him, didn't you?
Yeah, Villa.
310 straight appearances, August 2004 to October 2012.
It's crazy.
That's incredible. It's incredible. All right, following us from 7 o'clock, Flex hosts Fang Footballers Friday this evening. He has Mr. Rory Jennings alongside him, and over on talkSPORT 2 you can hear live commentary of Watford against Bristol City in the Championship. All right, let's look ahead to a massive game in the Premier League tomorrow lunchtime. Tottenham host Manchester United. That is, of course, live on TNT Sports 1 with coverage starting at 11 a.m. And to help us look ahead to that, we're joined by former Arsenal Invincible and TNT Sports pundit, Mr. Martin Keown. Martin, how are you, sir?
Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Martin. Good evening.
Looking forward to this game tomorrow.
It's a big
Spurs,
game.
Manchester United. Obviously, the Arsenal game away from home at Sunderland will be a tough one as well. We can come to that later. 6th versus 8th, 17 points they're both on. A repeat of the European final that we saw last year, the Europa Cup. Of course, a massive game for Spurs that was. But I feel Manchester United probably just slightly ahead. It seems strange that Spurs are struggling to win a home game. I think there's only one win in 5, but away from home, they've been quite magnificent. So I've just sat down, lads, the last hour and watched the game last week against Chelsea. And honestly, stop-start, no intensity, not pressing from the front. Thomas Frank, I've been impressed with him. There was an incident after the game where the players refused to shake his hand. I'm not even sure Thomas Frank should have been on the pitch at that point, because this might have worked at Brentford, but when you're playing against Chelsea, it's sort of their nemesis team, isn't it, for Spurs? You think about when they denied them winning the league all those years ago, and he probably shouldn't have been there, and they were hurting, and rightly so. But I like Thomas Frank, but there's an intensity or lack of intensity at home, which they're suffering from right at the moment.
Martin, I've got to ask you about Manchester United, because we've just seen Ruben Amorim win the Manager of the Month and Mbeumo win the Player of the Month. Do you think they've turned the corner now and they are starting to go in the right direction, or do you still think it's too short a spell to kind of judge them yet?
No, we have to say, it's an improvement. I think finally the players are sort of taking on board, what the manager's asking them to do. I think it's from Cunha and Mbeumo. The amount of work that they're doing is absolutely ridiculous. They retreat to the edge of their own box. They're able to get like 3 players on the sides. And also what's happening is, if you're looking at Luke Shaw, he'll come out now from the back 3 to go and press. And then Ahmed on the right will form a back 4. So there's a lot of information for those players. It seems to take them a hell of a long time. But now when you look at the number of chances that they're creating, I mean, no other team really. I mean, if you look at what happened to Arsenal at the start of the season, they had 8 shots on target against Arsenal at the start of the season. I think if in the sum total since then is maybe 8 from all the opponents Arsenal have played since. So it gives you an idea that this is a Manchester United team that's improving, but there's still some way to go.
Dan, I'll bring you in. Obviously, United fan. What have you made of the new signings and how they've settled? New goalkeeper, new front three as well, which is never going to be easy to settle. But Mbeumo looks like he's settled straight away. Sesko's still finding his feet, maybe.
Mbeumo and Cunha look good.
Yeah,
I think they've added a bit of a dynamic to United this year. I'm not convinced. I'm far from an expert, but the way in which they play and the system that they play, it still feels like they're giving up too many opportunities for teams to score against them. You know, even when they played really well against Brighton still scored a couple of goals and had some couple of chances early doors. But what they have got this year is a goal threat. They look like there's goals in them, which for the last couple of years or for a number of years, you could say that they just aren't scoring enough goals. So that's the biggest thing for me. I think Cunha, I think especially after scoring against Brighton, getting that goal will sort of kick on a little bit now, and Burma just hit the ground running. They look like they're a goal threat, and they look like they're going to score. The system is still up for debate. You know, who knows if it's the right one, if they've got the right personnel to go with it. They need more legs in midfield. But the concern is the amount of chances they're giving up. The positive is that they look a real goal threat in games this year.
Yeah, Martin, they're going to score, aren't they, Martin?
Well, it's just interesting. Dan's got a good take on it. And I as a player that's played in that system, so we obviously predominantly a back four. And when Wenger arrives at the football club, Bruce Rioch would have played a 5 and he inherited it for a season. It was an absolute nightmare for us, honestly, because your wing back disproportionately is having to do too much work and the numbers are all wrong. It doesn't feel comfortable. And at times, if I'm a centre-half on the right, I'm running out and as I'm going, I'm saying, right, full-back, full-back, full-back. That's what I've become now. I didn't like being in wide positions, so everyone thought I was suited to it. You get pulled all over the place. It becomes a 5 and you can't really get out. So, it's puzzled me. I went to Italy 2 weekends ago to see Patrick Vieira and watch everybody in Italy is playing with pretty well everywhere. 70% of the teams are playing with a back 5 and it's quite sterile. It's not a good watch. It's like an arm wrestle every match. I prefer it here, the 4-3-3 systems or a 4-4-2. We're much more fluid. And I just feel they're at a disadvantage, Manchester United. But look, it has got a lot better this year, but only because they've got 2 really exceptional players prepared to work and track back.
Let's go to your former team, top of the table, Arsenal. Are they a good watch right now, Martin?
Yeah, it's a wonderful watch at the moment from an Arsenal and it's been a struggle for quite a while. But I'm really infused by the mentality, the behaviour of the players. To watch them on the pitch, it's like a fight has broken out somewhere at the back, and there's always someone there. There's always somebody on your shoulder. There's always a person making a block, a header. The mentality, though, is where it comes from. It doesn't necessarily matters who's playing. It's important what's in front of that defence. So we shouldn't just laud the defence and the back four. Goalkeeper, by the way, Raya, doesn't want to be the weak link. He's making incredible saves when he's called upon. Everyone plays their part. I'm worried, Darren, though, about the number of injuries that Arsenal have. Look, that's a negative. And the manager's doing well to put that to one side. And this weekend, Granit Xhaka, who maybe is been the sort of pound for pound best signing we've seen. He's a wonderful player, I feel, for Sunderland now. He calls all the shots on the pitch. He will be desperate to do something against Arsenal this weekend.
Martin, you said it there about the injuries, and listen, you don't want to use it as an excuse to call, but they are starting to lose a lot of players in the same positions again. Do you still feel, though, that Arsenal moving forward, because I do, that they've got more than enough depth, certainly defensively, with the likes of Timber, Ben White at right back, Lewis Skelly, Calafiori at left back, and the 4 centre-halves that we've got, that there's more than enough cover defensively if they were to lose one of the centre-halves?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, we've got so many. I was comparing the England squad today to the Arsenal squad. Look, we've only got one England striker, and Arsenal have only got one striker at the top, Gyökeres. But what Arsenal have is lots of different fullbacks, and England don't have that. I mean, in Capier was playing the other night. Skelly didn't even make it. We've got 3 now. Calafiori could, get the cigars out because he had the whole night off. Yeah. Timber is quite magnificent at fullback. Ben White plays her as well, and the 2 central defenders. Mosquera's come in and is really at the level. So that's just taken care of. Supermendi in midfield is a wonderful talent as well. I'm sincerely hope he's back and ready this weekend. And Declan now is becoming the Brian Robson of his era. He's just up and down and everywhere. But we do need that striker. Havertz is coming back from injury. Jesus is coming back from injury. Ødegaard, and we need them back quickly. There's an international break coming, and fingers crossed they're all available afterwards.
Dan, this is hard, isn't it, to hear? But they almost look like the complete team, Arsenal, when you look at them now. And yes, it's still that Gyökeres Havertz thing, but apart from that, they just got cover everywhere. Yeah.
Do you know what? I was gonna ask Martin this, actually. Do they sort of resemble a little bit of the team from Martin's era in terms of they look a hard team to beat again, don't they? They're winning games 1-0, 2-1, 2. You know what I mean? Saliba, Gabriel, set pieces sort of thing. They feel like a little bit of Arsenal from 15 sort of years ago. You know what I mean? The games where they were going up against Man United and the big rivalry. Is that fair to say, Martin?
Yeah, it is, Dan. And I was trying to compare different eras. I was asked to write a piece on it. Lots of similarities, there's like a force field and energy around you. What it is that suddenly, as a defender, Dan, you don't really get the notoriety. The strikers, Darren, they're scoring his goals. He gets all the money. He gets all the publicity. But
he's not denying it.
No.
He's got some expensive clothing on next to me here, Martin.
Exactly. But when we start getting clean sheets, all of a sudden there's a noise. And we're walking around the building, we're proud, chests out. We go onto the pitch and we're like, do you know what? Over our dead body, no one's scoring a goal against us. And then there we are again. We're creating history, game after game. And it's just like, you're very proud. And it becomes a behaviour. And it's like when you're injured, you pass that baton to someone else. And it's interesting, when I look back, it's hard to remember some of the records we were achieving, who was actually playing in some of these games. I think we went 7 games unbeaten in the Premier League. And Alex Meninga was the goalkeeper. And I was certain it was Dave Seaman. So, it's just the environment you create. And Arsenal have got that now. And it's like holding on to that. I hope it doesn't disappear, because it did disappear after the time. When I left the football club, it changed. And we must never lose it again. We're back in the fight. No one knows if we're going to win anything. But we do know now that Arsenal are certainly going to go all the distance this year. And it will be built upon a really strong defence. And that's all over the pitch. Everybody has to play their part. The youngsters coming through. I mean, we were looking at Dowman the other night. Tough, coming in. This is an elite group. And he's 15 years of age, Darren. You think about this. Like when we were at that age, we were nowhere near ready to play in the first team. If someone went to train with the first team, it was massive news around the place. He's playing in the team. And he's not out of place. So there's a great feeling all through the club right now. We just got to turn it into trophies.
Very quickly, on Sunderland, Martin, the fantastic start to the season. What Regis Labrie's done is incredible, especially when you consider how that jump now from Championship to the Prem is bigger than ever. Have you been surprised with just what they've been able to do so far, Sunderland?
Yeah, I think it's caught everybody by surprise. The way that they're attacking games, they're playing very direct. There's lots of throw-ins, lots of set pieces. But what's really interesting as well, they're getting a level of possession. And I watch Granit Xhaka on the pitch. He's orchestrating things. It's like you get the ball at the back and you see a hand up. No, keep it. Let's not pump it long. Let's not panic. Let's keep the ball. Okay, now we can be direct. And they're just playing really good football at times. And of course, the crowd there, Stadium of Light. Darren, you know what that's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, they get right behind their team. And there's not too many of the Arsenal players would have been there, of course, because they've not been there for a number of years. You're familiar with that atmosphere. So Arsenal are going to have to overcome that and push on and, go and become champions. And this is one of the games you'll look at and say, do you know what? We're going to have to go there and we're going to have to match them. And then we're going to have to play our football. And then hopefully there's enough in that Arsenal tank to win this game.
Martin, as always, top man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Martin.
Cheers, Martin. Remember, don't miss Tottenham versus Man United tomorrow live only on TNT Sports and talkSPORT. Kickoff for that one. Lunchtime kickoff 12:30. Remember, TNT Sports is the only place to watch every big competition with over 700 matches broadcast live, including the UEFA Champions, Europa and Conference Leagues, the Premier League and the Men's and Women's FA Cup. Right, when we come back, we're going to have team news from Brickridge Road. Watford member take on Bristol City. And it is DB versus TNT. Good evening, this is Friday Night Live, the TNT Sports and talkSPORT Hour with Just Eat. Score yourself a stunning delivery straight to your door. It's myself, Adi Oladipo, Premier League 100 Club member Darren Bent, and former British and Irish Lion star turned TNT Sports pundit Dan Biggar. And don't forget, following us from 7 o'clock, Flex hosts Thank Football. It's Friday this evening. He has Mr. Rory Jennings alongside him. And over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear live commentary of Watford against Bristol City in the Championship. The teams are in for that one, and Jim Proudfoot has all the details. Jim.
Addy, good evening to you. Well, 2 games in 3 days has been the cue for widespread rotation for Watford as they look for a 5th straight home win. They've made 6 changes in order to the side that held Ipswich on Tuesday. As for Bristol City, 2 changes to the team that lost to Blackburn. Neto Borges, the latest victim of their injury jinx. So it looks as though Richards will move out to wing-back and Viner back to centre-half. Sinclair Armstrong's recalled and Fali Mayulu in for his first start of the season in place of Emil Rees. There's still 9 out through injury. So Watford, Selvig in goal. A likely back 4, Elaine, Caben, Pollock and Bola. Petri, Lusa, Kayembe and Irankundia. And then Kirungo and Doumbia up front. For the Robins, Vitek in goal. Tanner, Dickey and Viner. McCrory, Twine, Randall, McMetty and Roberts. With Armstrong and Mayulu up front. And Sean Derry's alongside me. Build-up starts at 7. And we kick off at 8, Addy. Over on talkSPORT 2.
Thank you, Jim. All right, enough of that. It's now time for this.
It's time.
It is tight and tense.
We're flying and our fists are punching. DB versus TNT.
What drama on talkSPORT, just when you think you've seen it all.
Good night.
Yeah, this is our feature, DB versus TNT, where each week on Friday Night Live, Premier League 100 Club member Darren Bent has been putting himself against our special studio guest from TNT Sports. This week, we're of course joined by former British and Irish Live star turned TNT Sports pundit Dan Biggar. Every Friday, they're going to be predicting some of the biggest games from the weekend. If they correctly predict a result, they'll be given 1 point. But if they get the score in a game bang on, they're going to earn a massive 3 points. This is serious stuff, people. We're going to be tallying up the scores throughout the season with TNT expert pundits working together to beat our very own Darren Bent. What we've done, just to make this a bit fair, we've added a couple rugby games in there as well. So we've added France versus South Africa and Scotland versus New Zealand. Just to make this fair, I only think it's right. Last week, Danny Murphy, standing in for Benty, and David Flatman only managed to pick up 1 point each. Not good enough.
Disgusting.
Not good enough
Awful.
at all. Score currently is DB 27, TNT 22. Close. All right, Dan, Benty, you both have 30 seconds to give their prediction for the following games and tell us how they see each one playing out. Tomorrow, 12:30, live on TNT Sports 1 and talkSPORT. Spurs against Man United. DB first.
Oh, I'm supposed to guess first.
All right, Dan, go on.
Okay, I've got
a few DBs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually thought you'd done something really special and put it on for me, and I thought this is really special. Spurs, Man United, 12:30. I have gone Spurs 1, United 1. I think both teams will score, but I don't think both teams are at the level of your Arsenal, City, Liverpool to have loads of goals in it. But I think one all.
Okay, go on quickly then.
Yeah, I've gone Spurs 3-1. Man United. I just think Spurs at home. They can score goals. Good result in the week in the Champions League as well, so I'm going to go Spurs 3-1.
All right, the other game, Sunderland versus Arsenal, 5:30 kickoff. Dan?
I've gone for a gritty away win, 2-1 Arsenal.
It's going to be tough, this one.
I've gone 2-0 Arsenal. I just think don't concede goals. It's going to be difficult up there, but I feel Arsenal got enough to win. 2-0.
All right, the big one, Sunday. This is very important, Dan. Man City, Liverpool.
I mean, I can't win with this one being a United fan, but I think City are in scoring too many goals. Liverpool, even though they've had a couple of good results, I've gone City 3, Liverpool 1.
I've gone the same. I've got the exact same 3-1. I've got it written down here. 3-1 Manchester City. I just think City at home, Haaland, different beast, 3-1.
And Liverpool do concede as well, don't they? All right, let's switch it to rugby very quickly.
Well, here we go.
France versus South Africa. Darren Bent first.
Yeah, well, listen, France, fantastic team. So I've gone for a home win. I've gone France to win 20-17.
I've gone the same margin. I've gone 30-27. I think there'll be plenty of points. For me, this is the game of the weekend on TNT.
Yeah, it's a great game. Scotland versus New Zealand, not that far behind in terms of a good game. Go on.
I think New Zealand will win. I think they'll beat Scotland at Murrayfield.
Look at him a bit.
Yeah, he's done his research.
Fantastic stadium. Score-wise, I'm still trying to figure that bit out, but I go New Zealand win.
Yeah, New Zealand win.
I've gone New Zealand. I think Scotland have got a really good chance on Saturday, but I just think the New Zealand bench would be too strong. 32-25 to New Zealand.
Okay, there you go. I love it. I'm actually looking forward to this now. I'm going to message you during the games. We need a score. We need a score for me. We need a score. Scotland, New Zealand. We need a score.
Let's just go 22 to New Zealand and 15 to Scotland.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
That sound good, Dan?
Yeah, he's done his research.
He looks over in your page. He's done. Dan Biggar, thank you very much. Benty, thank you very much as well.
Andy, thank you. Been brilliant this week.
Thank you. One does try. Up next is Thank Footballers Friday. Flex is joined by Rory Jennings.